The Universal Declaration of Human Rights established that everyone has the right to freedom of movement and residence within borders of each state. But records have shown that there is increase in the violation of migrants' rights by their host countries, particularly African migrants. Now, in a bid to tackle this menace, Kude Radio International came up with a capacity-building project for journalists on migration. Obiageli Ugoke completes the report.
Records indicate that millions of people are on the move every day from one country to another in search of greener pastures. They are called migrants. While some are fairly treated, others are subjected to various degrees of maltreatment as their rights are constantly violated, especially African migrants. This trend has generated concerns globally, with international conventions and governments canvassing for respect and fair treatment for migrants. Worried about this, Kude Radio International has embarked on training and empowerment of journalists from Mali, Agadez, Nigeria, Cameroon, Niger, amongst others, who will monitor and report abuse of migrants in the Sahel regions in local languages.
There is a lot of violations going on unnoticed, and with the help of Borderline Europe, Kude Radio is going to be monitoring the violations of migrant rights across the borders of Sahel.
Number one, we have to, especially in Africa and Asia, we have to evolve good governance. Principle of good governance where everybody will be free to live his own way of life.
Migration has become a major issue around the world, from Africa through to Europe. It's even a national security issue for most of the countries on the African continent. So the journalists reporting the field must have the most objective, most professional attitude.
For the past 5 days, these journalists have been on capacity building, learning how to monitor and report violations of migrants' rights across borders. Now, the training is over. They have been discharged with certificates and gadgets, and it's time to go into the field and perform their duties.
Very, very good lesson I've learned, and it's going to help me because I am going to speak with facts. I'm not just going to speak from space. I've been trained.
The project is funded by EU Borders. Kude Radio International is a full-day-oriented radio station covering the entire Sahel region through shortwave. Obiageli Ugoke, NTA News.
Now, a 4-day workshop for journalists on reportage on migrants' rights violation within the African borders has commenced in Abuja. Omenka Amarachuku reports that the event by Kude Radio International is also to highlight travelers' rights.
It's an old-long human activity that has both positive and negative consequences. Over the years, many migrants have suffered various forms of human rights violation within and outside the African borders. It is to this end that capacities of journalists selected from Nigeria, Cameroon, Chad, and Niger Republic are being equipped with relevant skills of reporting issues of migration as well as travelers' rights.
You can go into investigative journalism and discover how this thing could be, how it looks like really. What is the real picture of what is truly happening?
This workshop will train the journalists to know how to go about their work.
For adequate monitoring and reportage of the borders, project codenamed Watchdog Sahel Routes is being introduced.
So we try to introduce programs that were not originally for culture. Now it's about dialogue, it's about how to bring this conflict, how to communicate with them.
The essence is to coordinate activities of migrants, reduce migrants and other travelers' rights violation for a secured borders within the African sub-region. Omenka Amarachuku, NTA News.